The 2025 NFL Draft is quickly approaching, and several big names in college football are ready to make the jump into the big leagues. And that includes some familiar faces with the West Bloomfield Lakers. Names like Jason Williams, Max Hairston, Donovan Edwards, all ready and capable for the NFL. And every single one of them has come a long way since their time here in West Bloomfield. Here to reflect on these athletes and their journeys is someone who was with them at their beginning, West Bloomfield assistant football coach Darryl Bingham. Darryl, good morning.
Good morning. How are you today?
I am great. I'm sure you're feeling great too as the draft is quickly approaching. And what does it mean for you to see so many of your former players declare for the NFL draft this year?
Well, outside of sitting back and feeling like a proud uncle, if you will, some of the kids I actually had a chance to know their whole life. So, for instance, take Donovan. I've known Donovan since he was born. His dad is a close friend and fraternity brother of mine. His mom went to high school with my wife at that time. I remember, us working with him and working through the challenges when his mom died at a young age and just watching him mature into the young man that he's become. I am so proud of him. Max Hairston. Max Hairston played for our youth football program for a long period of time. And the great thing about Max actually is probably as good of a basketball player as he is a football player. And to see him make the leap and excel in football at the level that he has, it's just baffling. His NFL combine was, like the kid said, he's about to put on a show, and he did exactly that. And that's the one thing I love about Max. Max isn't a competitor. He's going to give you everything he has. Jason Williams, winning the number of national championships that he's won up there at Fair State in Division II is just phenomenal. So I look forward to when he has his pro day. Jason is a young man who I saw as a toddler on the youth field when I was coaching youth football. At the time, I was coaching his cousin, and his dad would always come out and support his cousin. And Jason would always come around on the field, and I just watched him from the first time he actually touched the football to the time he's gone into college. I'm so proud of him. Comes from an excellent family, very supportive, very loving, and a big football family. So I'm excited to see his journey. And Lance Dixon. Lance Dixon, I had the opportunity to go down to his pro day at Toledo on Monday, and Lance did a great job. The thing I love about Lance is a hybrid player that even though he played the outside linebacker, because of his speed, you can move him to the safety position. He comes down and he delivers a great blow on a hit. He could be a great addition. I'd say the last person, Makari Page. Makari Page has probably been the quiet person throughout this time frame, but Makari, is and always has been kind of like a freak of nature, to have a safety that big and to play Division I and to, Makari has excellent speed. Makari loves to hit, loves contact. And Makari is a young man that he's a student of the game. He's going to sit back and he's going to study everything that he needs in order to improve in the opportunity that exists for him.
Well, you are covering a lot of great players, and you're absolutely right. Every single one of them has had that passion for football since a very young age. And we're actually going to show you a clip right now of Max Hairston when we had him on This Week in Laker Football all the way back in 2019, talking to our very own Dave Scott about some of his favorite activities outside of football and what he takes away from the sport.
I always like to ask this at the end of these interviews. What do you do when you're not practicing or playing football? What do you do with your time for the fun of it?
You got to watch film. I watched 3 hours last night.
There's no fun. It's football season. Well, come on. I mean, don't you play video games, or you got a hobby or something you do when you're not working on football?
I'll take a break, but I got to get back to the film.
It's always studying that film, and that shows you how passionate he is about this sport. How does it feel to look back and see how much passion these players have always had for the sport of football?
Coming from a program that had to build from the ground up to compete in, as far as I'm concerned, the toughest conference in the state of Michigan, the OAA, and to have to deal with creating a name for themselves, not walking into a legacy, but creating the legacy. I am so enthused by the lessons that they've learned and they've been able to carry with them. And it doesn't just transcend into football, it transcends into everything that they do and everything that they touch. The work ethic, the discipline, the focus, the fact that no matter what I do, I have to become a student of it, embrace it, live it, and work at it every single day. It just does a coach very proud. And I can't say more about the guys. You know, as great as they are as football players, they're better human beings. And that says volumes to the work they put in development of themselves and the family that they have around them, not only blood family, but the extended family that they have around them and nurturing them to become great human beings.
Absolutely. Couldn't have said it any better myself. They live and breathe football, and each of these players has had a different path to the NFL draft. How did West Bloomfield help them prepare for the next level?
I had an opportunity to talk to Max when Max was in prep, and you know, during that time frame, they kind of shut down from a lot of communication. So it's funny. You know, I just sent him a text and say, "Hey, I'm praying for you, son. If you need anything, don't hesitate to ask. Just know that we back here at home. We love you and we're praying for you." And later on that night, it had probably about 9 o'clock at night. He said, "Hey, Coach, I'm so sorry I missed your text and I missed your call." He said, "I just want to reach out to you." I said, "I just want to say I love you." And from a community standpoint, that support is what we were able to provide. All the young men, they actually have found trainers. They found their agents and everything to help position them to get ready for this draft. If they needed access to the facility, they definitely had access to it. But for the most part, most of them were away and they were training with other young men who were preparing for the draft to make sure that they had access to a competition level that they would see when they went into their drills at the draft.
For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, we have retired assistant coach of the West Bloomfield High School football team, Darryl Bingham, talking about his feelings on seeing so many of his former players make it to the NFL draft and hopefully take the next step into the NFL. And Darryl, as a coach, how rewarding is it to see your former players achieve their dreams at the highest level?
It means the world. You know, we sit back and we talk and we preach about the future and what it takes to get there. It is great when you see the manifestation of it. It's even better when you see them walking in it and embracing it and in doing it in such a way with class and with style that we demanded of them and that they always presented when they were here at West Bloomfield. And now that they've left our community and we no longer have those day-to-day ties to them, to see that they still walk within the structure and the discipline and the knowledge that has been passed on to them from the West Bloomfield community. I'm just so proud of our boys. I can't say enough about our West Bloomfield kids.
Absolutely. You should be very proud on everything they've accomplished. And what advice would you give them as they take the next step in their careers?
Biggest thing, remember the statement that I would always say to them when we were in practice: from whence come you? Know and understand the responsibility that you carry from the community that you come from and live in that. You know, walk upright, be forthright in everything that you do, and commit, you know. And more importantly, you know, we were blessed with Coach Bellamy during that time frame, and Coach Bellamy, you know, with the U of M pedigree and the U of M training, one of the things that he would always reiterate to them: the team. You know, remember, hey, you didn't get here by yourself. So while you're walking in that pathway, you know, make sure you support those who are walking with you, and also reach back. You know, be a conduit and a vessel for others who want to gain that knowledge and to gain that wisdom and what it takes to get there, so that they understand and they can see, feel, and touch someone who came from the same community that they did and understand this is possible, but this is what it's going to take in order to get there.
That's absolutely right. They are impacting every single person they can. And you just touched on it a little bit right there. They're impacting the future players that will play with West Bloomfield. I've got another clip I want to show you. At his signing day event, covered by media from across the nation in 2020, Donovan Edwards gave future Lakers words of encouragement on how they can become Laker greats just like him.
Man, just stay patient, man. like when your opportunity come, you got to seize your opportunity, man. Like, as well as that being said, like, you got to come in with the mentality, like, man, like, I'm about to dominate this. I got to dominate, what's going on right here. And it's like, I feel as though, like, as a player of a high caliber, you just got to have the mentality to be the best every single day.
And he certainly has shown that mentality every single game. But that poses a good question. How do their successes impact the current and future players at West Bloomfield?
It impacts in a great way. It's nice to know and to be comfortable and familiar with the legacy that you inherit. And that's what we tell a lot of our players right now is that your job is to continue the legacy. It's just kind of like, like I say to my sons, you inherited a last name because of birthright coming from my family line, but it is your responsibility to uphold that last name and to excel it beyond yourself. So the young people that come behind them, the young men that come behind them, they inherit the legacy of all the things that all our great players in the past have done, even to the extent, I don't want to leave out this one person because he's probably the first from our community who did it big, and that's Matt Judon, with a lot of the things that they've been able to do. But it is your job and your responsibility, your didactic, your moral responsibility to uphold and to excel it beyond yourself, because there is someone coming beyond you. And when they come behind you, you want to make sure that they have the same character, the same sense of discipline and responsibility that has been instilled in you. As a result of that, we've seen our players, begin to understand, I can do this. And not only can I do this, I can do this at the next level, but I got to commit. And that's one of the toughest things to teach a high schooler, especially in the transition that we're seeing in the college game. When you have a kid where you sit back and you got to help them understand, yeah, it may be tough. You may not be that Division I offer anymore because of the transfer portal. You might wind up going a Division II route and then transferring into a Division I school later on. It helps them understand, no matter what the walk is, stay committed, stay focused, stay disciplined, and stay true to trying to fulfill the responsibility of the legacy.
Spoken like a true coach. Darryl, thank you so much for stopping by with us here on the Splash Live. One more really quick question before we let you go, though. What's some advice you could offer to current high school kids who are looking to make it to the big stage like this batch of players hopes to do in just a little bit?
The path is different. It's not difficult. It's just different now. Like I mentioned, because of the portal, it does change a lot of things at the collegiate level. But if you focus, the one thing that we've learned about professional sports, if you're good, they will find you. Just do your job and do your job 100% of the time.
That's absolutely right, and they are certainly going to be putting in the work to hopefully make it to the big stage like Donovan, Max, and everybody else declaring for the draft this year. Darryl, thank you so much for joining us today here on the Splash Live.
Thank you, and go Lakers.